IT Enabled is a technology consulting firm that works with businesses across the nation to unlock productivity, reduce expenses, and increase the company's bottom line. With more than 75 years combined experience in the technology industry, our ability to manage and maintain your systems is unparalleled. We are resourceful, trustworthy, and experienced to help your business. Learn more about how we can help you with fast and effective 24-hour support at itenabled.com.
Hi, I'm Tara Watson-Watkins, President and CEO of the Lufkin Angelina County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Connect podcast, connecting business to community. I'm here with my co-host, Blake Pollino with BP Media Group.
So we just got done recording an awesome episode with Jackie Zimmerman, who is the publisher of the Lufkin Daily News. We talked all about what it means to have a community newspaper and really dove into the behind the scenes of how our local paper and news system all works. So let's jump into that episode now.
Well, we are excited today to have Jackie Zimmerman. Jackie is actually the brand new publisher of the Lufkin Daily News, and we welcome you. It's hard to believe we're kicking off a new year, new series of podcasts, and so welcome, Jackie.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Why don't you tell the listeners about yourself, and then we'll start talking about the paper.
Oh, about myself. Let's see. I grew up in Lufkin.
Okay.
Lufkin High School, SFA grad. Actually, also an AC graduate, so I've kind of covered it all.
Good.
This is actually my third trip back to the Lufkin Daily News. I did an internship out of AC. I moved away for a while after I got my degree, and I came back and was a reporter and a city editor for a few years, and then went out to do marketing, and now I'm back. So it's kind of
Third time is
charm. It's a completely different position as the publisher than as a reporter or an editor, but it's really, really interesting, and it's really, really fast-paced.
Did you always want to be in the paper business, in the newspaper business?
Yes. My degree is in communications and journalism.
Okay.
I always wanted to write. That's pretty much the only thing I know how to do. So, and it is, the fast-paced and being involved in what's going on and what's happening was what intrigued me about the news business, and being able to tell people this is what's going on, this is why this is important to you, and what is happening around them so that they can make educated decisions was always something I've wanted to do.
Nice.
Very cool. So at the time we're recording this, you're pretty new to the paper, or coming back to the paper, I should say. Can you tell us a little bit about that transition before we talk about the paper itself?
Wow. Yes, I've moved out of marketing and into publisher's job, and I've been there a month.
Mm-hmm.
I got there early, the second day of November.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much there a month. It's amazing.
Right.
Everybody is very excited about me being there. Someone who knows the community. I've been here a long time. I've worked in the community, so they've really welcomed me and made it a lot easier to kind of transition into. But it's a big transition going from a small marketing firm that I had to, almost 50 employees.
Yeah.
So, and learning everything from, the newsroom that I know to circulation. And I kind of know the advertising girls, but then we go back to knowing the business part of it, and then also getting the press room and the mail room, which is where the paper gets out. So there's so many aspects to it that I'm learning, and it's really interesting.
Yeah. As you've come into it, kind of with a fresh set of eyes, like what are you most excited about as you've walked into your new role there?
I am most excited about growing the paper. The circulation, and making sure that what's printed is what's important to this community, making sure that we represent the community well. And that's where I really want to see this grow, in growing the younger market into reading the newspaper and reading the news, and seeing that local reporters who are educated and understand how to report the news in a fair and balanced manner is what's key to making sure you're locked into what's going on in the community. You can get your news in a whole lot of other sources now that when I became a reporter a few years ago, weren't there.
Right.
But there are so many different ways now to access the news and so it's not always just news. There's a little bit more bias, and everybody can find the balance that they want. But what I want to show them in our community is that we have reporters and we have people on the ground that understand our community, and they're out there, they're talking to people, and they're providing the news that is balanced and is centered, and so that they understand what they need to know and they can move forward with that and make educated decisions, because we all have to know what's going on in our community, so that we can decide how we want to change things in our own community.
Sure.
And without that, we're a stagnant community. So I'm very excited about trying to pull in the younger market, because everybody, we talk about, the newspaper is an older demographic, and it is. They want to see and feel that paper, but we're not just seeing and feeling that paper. We are online. We are in an app. We are wherever we need to be, and you can find Lufkin Daily News anywhere you need to find it. And that's, so I want those people I want the 30-somethings to get that.
Sure.
We were laughing this morning because I still like to hold it in my hand. But the first thing I do every morning at 5:30 is I go on my phone and make sure that I'm not on the front page of the paper to make sure that my picture is not on there. And then I get to the office, and then we pass our newspaper around to about 4 of the offices here, because we all want to touch and hold it. And I like to be able to see it online, but I still like to be able to hold a paper. But it's like a book. I love my Kindle when I travel, but if I'm home, I want to have a book in my hand. So yeah, I'm one of those that still likes to have the hard copy of the paper.
You want to feel it.
I do.
You want to get the ink on your hand.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of just know that it's there.
That's right.
It just brings reality to it too. But as the younger market moves up in the 20s and the 30s, they're not used to that. They're not, they read everything online. So, hopefully they will get that feel. I think as they get older, I think it will become a need to touch it and to feel it.
Well, the paper's been around for 114 years, which is crazy to think about.
It is. In February of next year, it'll be, I think, 114.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
And you think about where it's come from. I mean, back when it started to where it is now, and how it's evolved and how it continues to evolve. And I think that's where you've really got the fun part of it, and your creative side is to make sure that it continues to grow and to be prosperous, and that people want to still subscribe. I've laughed. You can tell who doesn't take the paper by the blue recycling trash cans that are still out. I'm like, yeah, you don't take the paper, so you don't know recycling has quit.
Yeah.
It's stopped.
Absolutely.
And they're full. And I'm like, this is the second week. They're not going to pick them up. You need to subscribe to the paper so you can read about this.
You can tell who's not reading the news right now.
That's
based
right.
on that. Absolutely.
Very true.
That's right.
There's so much going on now that we're still we're homebound more. And there's so much going on that you need to get that local news into your door to know, because you're not going to know what is happening.
Yeah.
Right there on your street.
Yeah.
Well, what does it mean to be a community newspaper?
We are the news of the community. We are what the people want to see as well. I mean, my biggest aspect is what goes on in the city, which we're talking about the recycling kit, what goes on in the county, because there's the landfill, there are the county roads. Everybody in the county, has an issue with their road somewhere or somehow. So, you need to be able to see and talk to your county commissioners or know what the county commissioners are doing. You're not going to get that if you're not, you're not going to go to the county commissioners meeting.
Right.
We don't want you to have to go to the county commissioners meeting. That's why we go. We go and report what's going on.
Right.
You're not going to know, truthfully, you're not going to know the crime going on in your area. We're not crime-ridden by any stretch. Lufkin's a great community with that, but there are still car burglaries and little things. And if you read the paper and you've seen the police reports, you'll know what streets kind of things are happening on and what's going on. And that's huge to be able to know what is physically going on almost on your street. Yeah. And that's what the local news can do. Because our reporters are talking to the police every day. They're talking to the county commissioners. They're talking to the city council members. They're talking to the sheriff's office. All of those who help keep us safe, who help run our city and make sure things flow so that, we live well.
Right.
And if you're not paying attention to that, you're kind of losing out on what's really going on.
Right. So when there's so many people that want to see it online versus print, and I'm sure you have more online subscriptions than probably print subscriptions. Is that correct?
They're right now, they're about equal.
Okay.
But the online is growing quicker than the print,
Yeah.
which is really exciting. Because it's access 24/7 to all kinds of news. Our local news, but it's also the Associated Press news and the weather and everything else that we provide.
Right.
But online is growing significantly.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Well, I love how, if there's something that's happening, it all of a sudden it appears on my phone and I know what's going on, and then I can dig in deeper if I want to see what it is. But
the breaking news alerts
yes,
that
I
you
like
get.
those.
Yes, and you can sign up for those. They'll come into your email, and it's local stuff, but it's also some national things. So we're keeping up with, our COVID numbers or an accident that happens out on,
right.
anywhere in the county.
That's right.
So
then you know what roads not to take.
yes,
Absolutely. Well, tell us, you're changing with technology as technology continues to grow. What are some new things that you want to see happen with the paper as technology continues to change?
I want us to obviously continue to change with technology to keep up, to provide not only the basic staple that our community is used to, but to provide a wide range of the news, local weather, more video, to create that as well, so that we pull all aspects in. We are online, we have an app, we do the breaking news into your email, we can text it. Pretty much any way that you want to get your news, we can provide that to you. And we're going to continue to grow that so that, however, if you want to reach out to us to get the news, or we're going to reach in and offer it to you, that's what I want to see. It's just a continuous news cycle, almost, is what I'm really looking forward to promoting as we go forward.
Right. So you've got a great team. You have reporters, you've got advertising team, you've got a press room, a mail room, which I think is one of the coolest things ever. If you've not ever taken a tour of the mail room where the whole paper is printed, do y'all still do tours of that?
The press room and the mail room, we can. The press room and the mail room are two separate things.
Two separate things, okay.
The press room is huge. Is where the press.
I guess
where
that's
the
what I'm
physical
probably
paper
thinking
runs
of is
at.
the press.
The press is huge, and we have one of the largest presses in the Southern newspapers team.
Okay.
So we print a lot of, besides Lufkin Daily News, we print the Nacogdoches paper, but we also print a lot of commercial stuff. We print out of Polk County, the Polk County newspapers, Grapeland newspapers, there's one out of Beaumont, there's some out of Dallas.
Oh, wow.
And so we have a large contingent of jobs that we do. So yes, you see the press room, but then it moves into the mail room where, on Sundays when you pull open your paper and you have all those inserts and those things, that's what the mail room does.
Okay.
The paper comes through into there, the inserts are put in, they bundle them, they get them ready, and then the carriers come through and pick them up, or they put addresses on them and they physically take them to the mail. But everything is prepped in that room to go out by carrier, to go out through the mail, to go out and be physically delivered to Polk County, or we have drivers that take it to Dallas and take it to Beaumont, whatever their products are. So it's amazing the processes of how it moves through.
Well, I just remember as a kid, like going in there, and it was huge and tall and massive. Yes. And, it's like when you see it on a movie and you see it like scrolling through all the different areas. And so if you've never seen that portion of the paper, give Jackie a call, because
absolutely,
it's one of the coolest things in town. It's a hidden little jewel, I think.
It is. It's like almost 2 stories tall with the way the it's kind of like 2 presses, one on either end, and how they come together and the papers come out. It's really interesting how they come and fold together. They get printed, they fold together, and they come out and they go up a chain and into the mail room, and it comes together again.
It's
just
so pretty.
Really
it's
fascinating.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you publish those or print those papers, are those also daily newspapers that they're doing, or are they like a weekly?
They're weeklies for the most part.
I was going to say, that seems logistically crazy that they would mail it around that fast. Like, that seems like it would be a lot. But
yeah, most
that's
of
really
them
cool.
are
I had
weeklies.
no idea that they
Polk
did
County, they have, Polk County has a lot of newspapers. They have the Trinity paper, Cold Spring, of course, they're old Polk County, Tyler County Booster. So we print those for them and get them out the, get them out the door. And so they can get them on their streets.
That's right.
On their deadlines. Everything we do is
Deadline.
Everything we do is deadline.
That's awesome. Very
And
cool.
I think, I don't think a lot of people know that your advertising group, if they're advertising and they need an ad created, you can actually create the ad for them as well.
We do. We have designers, or what they call a composing department. We have 2 or 3 designers on hand that can design anything.
Yeah.
And they design charm too. So we have the magazine charm ads, the charm itself, plus all the ads that are in the paper, all the ads that are online. We do those as well.
So tell us about Charm, because I know that everybody loves that magazine. It's a great magazine. It's done through the paper. Tell us a little bit about, in case someone is new to this area and they're wanting to pick up Charm, tell us about that.
Charm is a monthly free magazine, and that's one of the other things we're kind of revamping, is trying to figure out where it more accurately reflects the community.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on community people. We're going to focus on some day trips throughout the area as well. So we have some new things moving on, but it is a free magazine that's distributed through the paper, but you can pick it up around town too.
Yeah.
And it's 76 to 80 page, nice slick magazine. We have local photographers that help us put that together as well. So we're using the community to put together a nice community magazine.
Yeah.
Different writers.
That's going to say you have a lot of contributors to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
different writers, different photographers. So it brings a different look to it every month. And we have a different theme this year every month
Nice.
that will pull together and highlight different aspects of the community, but yet different aspects outside of just Angelina County. We're kind of looking at doing some day tripping things and stuff so that people will know what's going on in East Texas still,
Right.
maybe just outside Angelina County. But we mail those as well. We can mail it to people. But we also have them. We had them in the hospitals. We've had them in, you can find them in the restaurants and things like that. So you can pick it up, or you can come by the Lufkin Daily News and pick up a copy of it. It gets mailed in the newspaper to the home subscribers. So it's a really great product. It's a really good product to advertise in, to reach, it's a women's demographic.
Right.
Partly, we're going to move that to a little bit and kind of focus on bringing more stories that interest men into it as well, to bring that mix. Again, so we represent the entire community, and that's
Right.
what I'm really about with the paper, is we're representative of who lives here and what we do and what we're like.
Well, and y'all also help us with the Connect magazine. So the Chamber, as you know, we've got the Connect podcast, but we've got the Connect, which used to be Business Link. And we decided to kind of change it up and make it, like you said, we're having to change with the times. But y'all help us with the Connect magazine. So y'all
Yes.
sell the ads. Megan writes all the copy here at the Chamber, but it's a great partnership between the Chamber and the paper.
And we design it for you.
You do. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all help do all of that. So
There
it's a
you
great
go.
partnership.
It's a nice, slick little magazine as
beautiful.
well. That, again, you're doing the same thing that what we want to do is
That's right.
represent the
Everyone.
members of the chamber, represent who we are. Lufkin's a really unique, Angelina County is a really unique, good hometown, and we want to be that.
That's right.
We're all part of this one big community that. We're hometowny, but yet we still have a good feel of a little bit bigger, and that's what we want to provide is that feel.
Yeah. What's so obviously media has changed a lot especially in the last few years. Talk a little bit about the future of news. Like, tell me what the future of Lufkin Daily News looks like as far. You talked about reaching a younger demographic. So I fall into that demographic. I haven't read a physical newspaper in. I can't tell you how long.
You see, he didn't include me in the younger demographic.
We're the same demographic. You just happen to like that touch. So most of mine is online. So like I read most of my social media online, most of it through social media. Like I'll find myself just getting on the Lufkin Daily News Facebook page, and I'll just scroll through there and read that way. So talk a little bit about the future. I know a lot of newspapers, even nationally, have gone to online subscription models. Can you talk a little bit about that? What the future of that looks like and how that's changed?
It has changed a lot. I mean, 100 years ago, you had to pick up the newspaper, and share it around to get the news. Now, yes, between Facebook, and Instagram and Twitter and online and your app and your phone and your tablet, you're plugged in 24/7. And that's what we are working toward. I mean, we're getting there with the app and with the online, with the Facebook, with breaking news. So you can get your news anywhere you want it to be, anywhere you are. If you head out of town for the holidays, and you want to see what's going on, you get on the app, you get on the Facebook, we will send you breaking news. But the future is being where you are as a reader. So we're not expecting you now to get to the newsstand and come pick up the paper.
Right.
We are going to be where you are. If you're on your phone, and then that's where we need to be, whether it's in Facebook, whether it's on, if you're going to have through the app. So that's our biggest challenge, is getting the market to know we are where you are. And through Facebook, through I think the promotion on Facebook and getting your email, so that hey, if you want to know what those breaking news things are, if you subscribe, then you're going to be able to be. Again, it's coming to you. You're going to get those breaking news events, whether they're national or whether they're local. You're going to find out what's going on. We're back. We put it in your hand. And that's what the future of local news is going to have to be, is we're going to come to you, put it in your hand. And we're going to strive every day toward that, whether, and for advertisers, it's the same thing as well. Yes, we're important to get the news into your hands, but we need to get those local advertisers into your hands as well. So on our Facebook page, on our website, through the breaking news, if you can advertise and be that breaking news sponsor, and you're going to come up every time a breaking news thing comes up on your phone, you're going to see somebody's ad.
Right.
And advertisers are going to have to follow that trend and go to you. You're still going to need to get into their shop, but a lot of them are also online as well.
Yeah.
So we're all having to adjust to going to you rather than waiting on you to come to us.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So if somebody has a story that they want to get to you, what do they need to do?
They can call us. They can email us. We have news at lufkindailynews.com. They can email a news tip, or if they have we have events like all the things that go on at the chamber,
right.
or if an organization is having a fundraiser and they want us to know about it, they can email us. They can call the newsroom. And then there are some people who have tips on things that they know are going on that they don't want anybody else to, they don't want us to know who they are. They just want to make sure.
Right.
We love those kind of things.
That's great.
They certainly can call.
Yeah.
They can call and leave a tip. There's a phone line, and you don't have to tell us who you are. Just kind of leave us a tip, and we'll kind of investigate that as well.
Sure.
So,
Nice.
but we want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
We want to be able to report what's going on and help you if it is a nonprofit event, and help our local nonprofits grow. We certainly want to make sure we help that and cover that and get out as much as we can pre-event. So, certainly we need to make sure that you give us a couple of weeks notice maybe to, you're going to have an event kind of like the Forest Festival. We're building that months in advance. But, some of the smaller nonprofits that don't have as many and as experienced people like you do in the chamber, give us a call. We're going to do what we can to at least get a blurb in the paper, get it online, do a Facebook post, and we are too about helping push out those Facebook posts.
Right.
All of us are about that. So it's got to get out there more than just on our Facebook page.
Yeah. Right.
So share and stuff. So that's kind of whatever you want to know, or whatever you want the
Others
public
to know.
everybody else to know.
Yeah.
Put it in the Lufkin Daily News.
Well, we're so excited about your new position, and we're excited to continue to work with you. I know you've served for years on the chamber board, and so it's great for us to know that we've got a friend at the paper, and to be able to share good news to the community. So congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being on the podcast and helping us kick off the new year. And we look forward to hopefully reading good things about 2021 in the paper this year.
Well, there's always good things going on in the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have so much to be
We just
to be
want
excited
2021 to be a good year.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
We absolutely do. There's always good things going on in this community, though, and that's part of, we mix the good with the bad.
That's right.
Everybody talks about there's only bad news, but there's so much good news going on. I mean, things are still growing. Our community is still growing, and that's what we want to be a part of, and to help it grow and help people understand, how to access that news and know what's happening. Our job is to educate and to inform, and that's what I really want to bring forward in for both, if you will, sides. Even if you think we're a little on the liberal side or a little on the conservative side, we work very hard to be down the middle and provide all sides. There are more than two sides to any story, but provide all sides of the story and provide something so that you can make decisions and be informed and educated about every topic.
That's right.
Whether or not you agree with it, is another thing, but at least you're presented it and you know what's going on and you can learn from it and make informed decisions based on it.
That's right. Good deal.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming on the podcast. It's been awesome to talk with you. And we want to thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Wherever you're finding this podcast, if you'll do us a huge favor and rate and review, and make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so that you can catch these episodes every Monday when they drop. And once again, thanks for listening and have a great week.